You want a whimsical home aesthetic, and you're here to make a room in your space reflect exactly how your dreams bubble up on the inside. You need a true system in order to understand how to bring an idea from concept to creation like you want. I'm going to show you my process for making a room look fairycore, feel fairycore, from idea to execution, so you can make the space a true place of solace. Fairycore in interior design is rooted in this mystical, whimsical, and enchanted design style. Essentially, everything in interior design is a feeling more than a specific, put this thing here and put that thing there. So for fairycore, while the feeling can be a little different for everyone, it generally lives in this serene, nature-inspired, feminine, playful, adventurous, dreamy-esque. You have floral artwork, botanical print, illustrations, vintage vases, bird cages, intricate chandeliers, dried florals, twigs, wildflowers, lavender, anything that's bringing nature in, as if like a fairy just came in. Let's talk about the step-by-step to actually get this fairycore look in your room. The first step is start with a soft, muted color palette. What you want to do is create a color palette of between 3 and 5 colors that you'll use the 60-30-10 rule with and stick to it. The 60-30-10 rule is that you're going to use 60% of one color, 30% of another color, and 10% of another color. It's also important to note that your desired color palette won't come into fruition if you have visual clutter. Go and get Marie Kondo's book to learn more about visual clutter, because this is huge, honestly. This is the difference between when you see a Pinterest photo and you're like, why can't I ever achieve this? So get rid of that visual clutter, stick to the color palette. Step 2. Now that you have your color palette, the skeleton of the room, you're now going to create your mood board. Your color palette is going to be the foundation, and your mood board is going to start showing you the patterns that you love in certain rooms. Whip out Pinterest and start pinning, because even if you don't know it now, you're soon going to start seeing patterns that come up with the pictures you're drawing inspiration from. There's 2 programs that I'd really love to use for actually creating this mood board. The first one's Canva. It's a free tool that many use for digital marketing and content creation, and it's free. There's also Spoke. This is a paid tool. It's more interior designer centric, but it's not specific to professional interior designers. There's many hobbyists like myself on it. You could actually save images directly from your browser into a mood board, which I find a little easier than Canva, and I really love that feature. This will also let you create an actual room layout to imagine different looks, and lets you measure pieces after you've purchased them to see what fits together. You can do this on Canva, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult because Canva is not necessarily for interior designers. Little note, your mood board might also include products you want in your space, but don't get overwhelmed if these are out of your price range. So going on Pinterest and seeing something on Anthropologie that's $880, do not be like, oh, I can't buy that, so I'm not going to put it on my mood board. No, this mood board is not about practicality. It's about finding similarities and patterns of what you love and drawing inspiration from that. So, for instance, I have a lot of inspirational decor pieces from Anthropologie. However, no way I was going to spend all that money on something I could find at a thrift store. Because I had that inspiration, I had that mood board up, and when I started going to things like estate sales, I actually found pieces that had that same essence. I didn't have to get the exact same thing, but I found like a butterfly sconce on my wall that totally represented like the flower sconce that I saw in Anthropologie. Let mood boarding be inventive and creative. It's like dreaming. You can't put a cap on it or else you're not going to get your biggest ideas out. Step 3, make a budget. Budgeting is going to make the process easier on your wallet, and it's going to push you to get creative, because isn't this what the whole thing is about? Little tip, take the allocated money you have for thrifted items and take them out in cash for estate sales, thrift stores, and Facebook Marketplace finds, to more easily delegate, and also to say that you have cash, because sometimes when you have cash, people are very willing to offer things for a little cheaper. And also, it's just an easier way to transfer money sometimes. Step 4, when buying new, look for low toxic fabric. Fairycore in general, when it comes to interior design, is finding things that have a soul from another life. But some items, couches, rugs, upholstered seating, these are things that for hygiene concerns, you might just want to get new. Though the high quality is usually a bit more money, consider adding these as maybe splurges to your budget for more long-lasting and safe products. We're talking less synthetic, more natural, and while this isn't totally possible for everything, it's a start. Every little thing counts. You might also want to find things like color changing lights or twinkle lights. Those might be easier to find on Amazon. Things like that might just be better buying them. Step 5, it is thrifting time. So for the remainder, and hopefully for the majority of your items, you can delve into the secondhand treasure spots around you. Some of my favorite spots to go: Facebook Marketplace, perfect for browsing in your jammies; Habitat for Humanity Restore, Goodwill, local thrift stores, great for having a go-to place on the weekends. Estate sales, great for weekend mornings with friends or on your own when you have some cash, have some tea, and feel like bargaining. Have your mood board and color palette open on your phone or print it out, or however in your purse, but however you need it when you're thrifting. So just take a little bit of a glance at it every once in a while before you go into a shop or a house, and remember what it is you're looking to find, especially if it's something super expensive like at Anthropologie and you want to find something that captures the essence of it. It helps you understand if a find you love is something that'll actually fit within the room too. If you just take a look at it, take a look at the other thing and think, this isn't really gonna fit, it'll be a lot easier. Step 6, create simple upkeep and maintenance. Once you've arranged your products together, you need to make sure you're maintaining it using KonMari methods of organizing. This is one I highly, highly recommend. We did this process about 1.5 years ago, and it absolutely changed everything about our home. This is going to help you eliminate the visual clutter and keep things organized. While fairycore does exude whimsy, it should not tip into chaos. What I love about this too is that you'll know how to organize without necessarily having to buy all these crazy space-saving baskets and tools. Once you have the budget and capabilities to get storage solutions as she recommends, it'll be even better. But her whole thing is that you can use shoe boxes to do this. It should not cost anything. If you love living a whimsical, feminine, creative life, then watch my next video to learn more about how to embody your inner fairy so you can have the coziest home, the healthiest body, and the most inspired creative career you could ever imagine. See you next time.